As you all know, my Knicks were eliminated last week from the NBA playoffs. Another team that just got eliminated last night, the Dallas Mavericks. Unfortunately, they lost to the Clippers last night in Game 7. And when I think about the Knicks and when I think about the Mavericks, I think about Kristaps Porzingis and the trade that the Knicks did to send him to Dallas for a few picks, Dennis Smith Jr., etc., etc. So, when I think about the Dallas Mavericks and what they can do to improve themselves in the offseason, they don't have a lot of options. Right now, Porzingis is the second best player, but it's clear that even though he's a talented player, he's not a good fit with Luka. So, what I decided to do in this video is I decided to come up with five interesting trades that Dallas can pull off to try to improve their roster and to try to improve their team. Anyways, hi, my name is Leon, and today we're gonna be talking about five trades that Dallas can try to do to trade Porzingis to improve their roster. So once again, five trades, not one, five trades that Dallas can do to improve their roster by trading away Porzingis. But with that being said, let's just pull up the teams. So first trade I decided to do is sending Kristap Porzingis along with Jalen Brunson to the Boston Celtics for Kemba Walker. The salaries work completely. Basically, Porzingis makes 31.6 million for the next 3 seasons. So every trade I decided to do this season is basically trades that, basically every trade I decided to do this season is based off of next year. So there's no contract, no trades from this season. It's from the 2021-2022 season. So that's what all the salaries is based off of. So, anyways, with that being said, let's continue going. So, Boston Celtics acquired Kristap Porzingis, which could really upgrade the power forward center position, so they can, move Tatum down to the small forward if they choose, or they can play Porzingis at center to make them more unguardable on offense and to get him enough size of defense. And yeah, he struggled with injuries, but so does Kemba Walker. And for Dallas, it gives them a proven also a guard who, although he struggles with injury itself, can give Dallas an improved look on their team and can take some off-ball pressure off of Luka, so Luka doesn't have to run the offense all the time. So, and Jalen Brunson could be a nice replacement guard for Kemba Walker for Boston, even though they got Peyton Pritchard, Romeo Langford, and instead of Marcus Smart. And at the end of this deal, what I try to do with when Boston and Dallas is I try to trade Kemba Walker and Marcus Smart, but unfortunately, they made too much money together, so I decided to keep Marcus Smart on Boston. But anyways, that being said, let's move on to the next one. The next trade I decided to do, once again, this is based off of next year's deal. Dallas actually has a decent amount of cap room, so they can pull off this kind of move. So Dallas decides to once again trade Porzingis and trade Burke, but this time for just John Wall. And John Wall makes 10 million more than what Porzingis and Trey Burke does combined. But I think for Dallas is a good trade for them because not only it saves them some cap money so they can sign more people. Actually, no, what I'm saying. Not only it saves Houston some money, so they can sign other players, right, a real bill, but Dallas actually has a decent amount of cap to pull this move with the Josh Richardson play option. Tim Hardaway's come off the books. Guys like JJ Redick is come off the books too. So they have actually a good amount of cap room. They can absorb John Wall, but only send out Porzingis. And John Wall is another guy that has injury concerns too. But I feel like John Wall is another guard, could take a press off Luka, and when he's healthy, John Wall has decent playmaking abilities, good speed, good playmaking, and Luka can play off the ball more with John Wall's presence on the team. Anyways, move on to the third trade. So this is a trade with Miami. He is kind of interesting, kind of a little different. So for Miami to pull this deal off, is they'll have to exercise the team options on both of these guys, meaning they'll have to keep Andrew Iguodala and Goran Dragic on team options for the next season. They cannot, let them go and say, hey, we're not gonna keep you guys. They have to use the team options to keep these guys so they can use them as salary filler to send to Dallas for Porzingis. And I think for Dallas, it gives them a more perimeter help, more guard help, once again, to play alongside Luka. And for the Heat, you can have somebody like Porzingis play next to Bam and could replace the Kelly Olynyk's and Miles Leonard's of the world from last season. And obviously Porzingis is a better player than both of those guys, but you can use his spacing and shooting when healthy to um, you know, make your team Miami better. And that way Miami can also, we sign Oladipo, or they can go in different direction at the guard and improve the spots. Because Iguodala's in his mid-30s anyways, and Iguodala's been playing some power forward. Anyway, so, I mean, Iguodala, as much as good as he is as a veteran player, I think Iguodala is past his prime. And Goran Dragic is another guy who struggles with injuries anyway. So if you're Miami, why not? You need to change the dynamics of your team anyways. Moving on, next deal. This is the Golden State Warriors in Dallas. So I decided to, unfortunately for Golden State, to give Wiggins away. I said, hey, trade Wiggins, $31.5 million contract, and the rookie Alan Samijic, I think the second round pick. So, and he hasn't played for Golden State this year anyway. So send him to Dallas. They can get Porzingis and Josh Green to kind of replace the minutes that Wiggins will get in. And I think Golden State has enough pointing guys. They have Kent Bazemore, they have Damian Lee, and Klay Thompson gonna come back anyway. So you might as well, as much as I like Wiggins for them this year, you might as well get Wiggins out of there so you can get somebody like Porzingis. Porzingis is kind of plays a similar position. I think Porzingis should be a center for the Warriors instead of a power forward. You can have Porzingis next to Draymond Green. You have Porzingis next to Wiseman. So you can have a good, versatile offensive and defensive front line if Porzingis really buys in. So I think it's a good risk for Golden State. And like I said, Josh Green somebody who can add in a perimeter, young guy. So why not? Why not go and say all Dallas do it? And Dallas, they get a healthy player, Andrew Wiggins. Andrew Wiggins hasn't really been injured that much while playing for Golden State. He's played in almost every game for them. So, and it gives another perimeter guy just in case Josh Richardson decides to leave or tomorrow decides to leave. You can have a perimeter guy to replace those guys in offseason, and plus to get off a Porzingis contract. You know what I mean? So, why not? If you're Dallas and if you're Golden State, why not do it? The next trade, and this might be the last one. Let me check. Yep, this is the last one. Anyways, Dallas gives up Gordon Hayward. No, they get Gordon Hayward and a second round pick 2021. What's 2022? I might change that. For Porzingis, 2025 second round pick and a 2022 first round pick from Dallas. And the reason why I decided to do that kind of trade is because Hornets, they signed Gordon Hayward, and Gordon Hayward is another guy who gets injured a lot. So if you're somebody like the Hornets, and yeah, you need Gordon Hayward to play, but you also have a big hole at center where you're playing guys like Cody Zeller, Bismarck Biyombo. Why not throw in Porzingis in there, see what you can get from him? And Gordon Hayward, as much as a good player he is, you have Miles Bridges, you have the Martin Twins, you have guys like Devontae Graham, you can resign Terry Rozier, you can play in the perimeter spots, and LaMelo Ball is above. So, get with Gordon Hayward to improve a really big spot, and you get a pick too. You get unprotected 2022nd for some pick, and I think Dallas will be in the playoffs. It was a good asset for Charlotte, you know what I mean. And for Charlotte, the Hornets, they get rid of Porzingis, and they get a second round pick back for the 2 picks they gave up. Plus, again, and Gordon Hayward who could play alongside Luka, and Luka can still stay at the point guard spot, but he can also play out the ball with Gordon Hayward's playmaking ability. So, yep. But those are 5 trades I decided to do for Kristap Porzingis to help Dallas improve their team a little bit, and to help the other teams, get a different look with Porzingis on the team. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and more videos coming soon, and adios.